Greetings. In this video, I want to show the importance of using your king in the end game and getting him out there and putting him to use. So I'm at chess.com battling the zombie bots, and this zombie bot is rated 1800, and so I just want to hurry up and get to the ending, but I will show you some neat things if you hang with me. Some mistakes I made. I just aired the whole thing as it happens, and so let's get this going. And so let me just point this out real quick. This F file is something you got to be mindful of. It's always an easy attack. So what I'm trying to avoid is this happening, where this, like I said, this F file, this knight defends this position, and then the bishop's free to go there. So that's why I pushed this H pawn. So just FYI, something to be mindful of, those attacks on the F file. Okay, so, and now I've got a dangerous situation here where this knight is relatively pinned to prevent taking this rook. So, okay, let's keep this going. And here, I just want to point out, this is a problem because this knight also owns that. And usually there's a minor piece and a major piece in my territory, my half of the board. It's early in the game. I haven't even developed all my minor pieces yet. And so I'll usually want to do a trade because one piece by itself can't do a whole lot. But my opponent has these pieces working together, so I have to shut this down. And so I don't like all these, forced movements. I'm forced to make some moves, but I'm doing a halfway decent job of recovering. And okay, and I make a few other mistakes. One thing is, there's a major piece behind a pawn, and then you want to push the pawn. That's what my opponent's doing. He's got a major piece behind the pawn, and then you push the pawn. That's usually a good thing to do. This is a semi-closed file. There's only one pawn on it. I'd like to get over and own this open file, but I've got to deal with this. This is a problem for me. So I make a bit of a sacrifice, but I'll show you, using your pieces together, the advantage of that. And now I also have right here, this is where it starts, where I start putting the king to work. You can't just sit here and hide. I'm down one minor piece, so the king has got to get out there, and that's what makes the difference in this game. So now I'm free to pick that pawn back up, or I'm sorry, pick the bishop back up, because if it's take, and then take. So now we both have our rooks lined up. This is going to be a pretty good end game. I see my opponent has king tucked away. I'm starting to get my king towards the center of the board, and this is what it comes down to make all the difference in the world. Okay, so that's check. I went ahead. I do have this problem, but this was going to be check, so I'm free to do this first if I like, and I needed to. So, okay. So let's keep this going because I want to show you. Okay, so now we're evened up. I was down a piece, and now we're evened up, and I really got to get this king going. Okay, so now I totally have the advantage because my king, sorry, my dog's sitting here near me. My opponent's king is down here, and I am very nearly the center of the board with my king. But I want to keep my king around here, around these pieces. I want to keep my king above my pawns. My opponent's king is below his pawns, and that's the difference. And you'll see this come together. And yeah, I probably should have come to the inside in case I needed to come here or here and pick that up. Swung to the outside instead, but it worked out. Okay, so now my opponent still is not above the lead pawn, and that's the difference. So now I'm free to take, and so my opponent has to get to this pawn first. And so here I want to keep pushing, but I'm like, you know what? I need to stop this just to make sure. Okay, and now this situation could just sit here all day, and get your queen. The easiest thing to do is to just make a box. You know, I obviously own this and own this, so there's very few places for my king to, or my opponent's king to go to, and so now it's really cut off. Okay. So now you don't want to stalemate in this situation, so make sure your opponent has squares to go to so you don't end up in a stalemate, and then there's mate. So the biggest takeaway for this game that I want to show is get your king out there and get him to use, let's go back and look just to recap the difference right here. Okay, so my king is above my pawns. My opponent's king is way back here, too far from the action. So get that king out there, get him to use in the end game. And so, yep, a lot of fun. I hope this helps, and have a great day. Thank you for watching.